able to find it, getting stunned out, and with possession is the Law in that bubble, trying to go for that shot off the inner backboard, but saved by Grief. Bubble trying to go for that shot off the inner backboard, but saved by Grief. Stolen right back, and going for another shot attempt, and cleaning it back up is the Law. So
does get their back, so the Law taking that. Already has a teammate, that's Banzi, but doesn't quite make the shot. Unfortunate miss, but a good re-grab. So another rebound and shot to the Law. Clears into the other side.
So as these boosts try to come out, it will be the advantage. Give it to 6 foot over, and then we'll get an uncontested shot as the Law with
left here, and just kind of waiting. Thing about this, these delay plays, of course, and you go for a nice pass actually to Cyanide. There you go, swagger to Cyanide for the first two. And Princess getting stunned. So that disc in another castle, I guess, but Swagger trying to boom it in from deep, and what a shot from Swagger. But now getting it back, lining up, trying to get rid of the disc. Another ding off the backboard this time, as there was some heavy contest, but you know what, you know the rest. It's Banzi, rebound and goal. The rebound's big story to the Law. The Law, he's been having a great game, and what a great pass that was. It's Citrus beating the dunk, and now just breaking this open for at least a couple goal lead. 5
Trench will now be 6 foot over family for possession. They have this 5-point advantage. They have a minute remaining on the clock. They go for that shot attempt, but the save from Swagger Nuts in the clear.
Stacks all split apart for 6 foot over, so Victus should be able, never mind, because here comes a shot, and it will find the time. 12-5, 30 seconds left, and first round should go here. As everyone tries to retreat. Seeing kind of some, actually some good man coverage here. Right there, though, getting a little bit lost. Citrus, well, there's a loss and there's the found. So up high goes Princess. Seeing if they can find a goal. It will be a roll-in from Cyanide. A bit uncontested on that one, almost. Just
the stack from Invictus out of position, and they're going to go deep. Will they find the shot, this one-on-one with the goalie in the bubble, and they will find the shot. Banzi at 5 meters for it. They have a player at Nest, they have a player at Trench. What are they going to go for? They're going to go for that Nest shot. Now they have this one-on-one with the goalie, and they'll find it at the bottom pocket.
They've been trying awfully hard, but there it goes, finally. So Grief getting the shot open here. A goalie did dive, but just not quite on.
That shot attempt will be wide, and they will chase it again with their secondary stack. They need this, they need these points, and they will find it off the backboard at 8 meters. Swagger Nuts, Cyanide,
and with less than 2 minutes left, every single goal is going to be super important. Going for a hesitation, and there's a proclamation on the goal, putting his flag.
Sending it back to that back line, the Law holding. They need to make a shot attempt. They need to extend their lead, and they will find it, leap around.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the stream here in VRML. This is Week 7, the final match of our evening and of our week. This is going to be a tough one here. You got a bunch of veterans. I mean, just looking top to bottom. It's Illuminaughty versus There Is No Team, and like I said, you got a lot of recognizable faces just from my standpoint here of players who've been around forever in this game, going head-to-head now. So I'm Palidore, being joined by SirDimwi in the cast. And how's it going? Yeah, I think SirDimwi, by the way, just casted the last There Is No Team match that just ended 15 minutes ago. I casted the last Illuminaughty match that just ended about 25 minutes ago.
Yeah, it's, as I said to you before the cast, I think this is the first time I've done a game where both teams are in the second game of a doubleheader. So I don't know if that's happened yet, but I know it's the first time I've personally witnessed, or at least that I've personally casted it. Because one of the things I do when we're setting up these games, I kind of go through, the team, the roster, if I'm not too familiar with it, and then like their MMR, their record, and then the last game they played, and both of these teams, it stuck out to me because both of them didn't have a last game played that I could reference on the site. I had to go just off of our discussion of it because, yeah, both of them just coming off of games coming into this one. So, yeah, Illuminaughty, their MMR was 1260. It'll pump up a little bit after that win, the 2-0 win versus Spaghetti earlier. The record will be 8-5. Then there's their team, an MMR of about 1170, but that'll get adjusted. Record will be 5-3 after the win against Nebula. Excuse me, my voice cracked. Nebula earlier. So yeah, as you said, a tough game. It's gonna be a tough game here for There's No Team. Illuminaughty, definitely one of the standout teams in the league. There's No Team, definitely a team of veterans, but still kind of rather new as a team. So definitely curious to see what they're able to do here. But yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's still another situation where sometimes as well, not with Illuminaughty presumably not having played There Is No Team too much, there's always that X factor of like, how exactly will this team play? We can see how Illuminaughty plays with a beautiful passing play. White Dragon almost getting a save, but not quite.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what happened there. I'm thinking it did go off the head though after I watched the second angle from the stream there. So yeah, White Dragon in the right place, but just not getting the right bounce off of the headbutt. And that one goes in for the first two, and that'll be drawing first blood. Illuminaughty here in round 1.
Yeah, so rolling out here now, There Is No Team coming hot off the heels of their victory against Nebula all the way in that third round. Meanwhile, Illuminaughty, a slightly longer break, not too long though, only maybe 15-20 minutes or so, but coming right in here after their 2-round win over Spaghetti. And that is a nice and steady passing play to a zero momentum Suburban Legend for the just throw in. Not quite a dunk, but might as well have been.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to see Burbs. I watched Burbs as he moved in for the cut pass, but the pass didn't come all that quickly, so he just kind of hit the brakes and parked right in front of the goal there. So when that feed came in, he just tossed it in, and it looks like we might have a drop player here from Illuminaughty.
Yeah, QL Young suddenly MIA. See if we can get back into the play soon, but for now, they're going to keep on rolling out. There Is No Team. Maybe want to take advantage of this numbers situation if they can, as they roll out with some passes. Just soft enough on the bounce to get to White Dragon. A fake, and he takes it. Burbs, the near save, but not quite, so it's a 4-2 game off of that shot from Dragon.
Very similar to that first goal we saw, as that one bounces off of the head of Burbs on the way in. And yeah, so good goal there for There's No Team to bring this one within 2. It almost sounds like there's the rematch. As I thought I heard somebody else drop just now, but we will see. I guess we're just gonna wait for QL to get back. I don't think anyone actually dropped.
Yeah, just waiting for the last possible second to see. Well, maybe he'll get back in time. Maybe nope. So that could be the case here, as they do wait for QL Young to get back into the match, and that's fine and dandy. But yes, worth mentioning. By the by, of course, Guy Gasm over on There Is No Team, and Speedy V, teammates way back in 2017, early 2018, on the legendary Fangasms. One of our biggest rivals when I was playing on Eclipse there. over in North America, especially the battles we had. Granted, we never actually played officially until the Season 1 regionals at Oculus Connect 4. That was the first time we had played on an official game. But otherwise, I mean, throughout the season and into 2018 and the latter half of Season 1, just super tough competition. Our biggest scrim partners, and it's great to see both of these players still involved in the league. Of course, Speedy V never really went anywhere. He kept playing, and he just got better and better, and found his way into multiple finals teams every season. So one of the strongest players, and I dare say one of the most underrated players in the league. Maybe not as much these days after the preseason championships there for Illuminaughty winning that, but for a long time, I think Speedy was really season to season one of the most improved players between seasons, and it's good to see him still around as well as Guy. And yeah, but now I'm just rambling.
Well, we're still waiting on that other player, so rambling on the past, or the history of the game, the history of some of these players is certainly acceptable. I think.
I feel like an old man sometimes, just oh, the days of yore when we used to play on Eclipse, had many matches. Had to walk 10 miles back and forth to get to the arena.
You're old once you get to the point where you look back to you thinking you were old in reference to something, you know what I mean? Like you're looking back a few years, in a handful more years, maybe a couple decades, you look back to this time as being melded with that time as being the early days. So, it's really interesting that perspective on time you can get over the years.
True story. I feel at this point we're still kind of in that place where, in the grand scheme of things, in the grand scheme of what's to come in VR and with Echo VR especially, I mean, we have that looming Quest release and Quest testing, but with what's to come, we're still kind of in those good old days period compared to, say, years from now, decades even, where we just look back at this beginning of something that I think will continue to just build and be something special for a long time.
Yeah. We can hope. We can hope. I mean, that's.
Oh no!
We all want to get out of it.
No. I'm gonna take a quote out of your book. Remember earlier that before that game?
Yeah.
We're not gonna hope. I expect it, Dimwi.
Yeah, I saw that one coming from a mile away.
Well, you gave it to me, but yeah, because back in reference to the Kangarillas versus Flare games, right before it started, I was kind of going off about, we're hoping for a good one, but Dimwi, and he was absolutely correct when he said this, I expect a great game, and boy, was that one of the better ones of the season. I hesitate even saying best anymore, because I feel like I already said that again the other day, but it was one of the best at the very least. So competitive and fun to cast and watch.
Well, I think it was very similar to that first game between Flare and Illuminaughty, or Flare and Kang. The one that Lansden made the highlight video of, that I'm a big fan of, because he made me sound awesome. But
you always sound awesome.
Well, in that one particular way, he timed because he'll cut the audio and get it timed better for the visual cues and but it's that game that he highlighted, I gotta say, is probably the best of the season. Even if we saw a kind of a repeat between Kang and Flare tonight, just how close that one was, it kind of doesn't carry quite the same excitement, because when Flare beat Illuminaughty, it was kind of nobody was really expecting it, and then when they did it again against Flare, because everyone was like, it's good, but that could be a fluke.
Yeah.
And then they did it again, and then they did it again, and then they did it again, and you're like, oh, okay, it's not a fluke.
Yep. I mean, over the weeks since that week 4 match between those two, it really did establish themselves as one of the top teams now, and so a lot can change in a short amount of time, but it was fun to watch all the same as we do get this rollout here. Getting QL back into the game, and so we're back into the match finally after that brief delay. Apologies for that. Hello there to Alikos also in the chat. Going in, how about that? It's Ender with a score 6-2 with 8 minutes still remaining.
Ender throwing a little bit of a flourish on that. I gotta wonder if that was just flourish, or if because what he did was he tilted himself back to get his feet kind of facing more towards the goal as he was releasing that shot. So I gotta wonder if that was just for a little flourish, or if maybe there's some underlying technique there that Ender's utilizing that might not be in the meta yet.
He's a tricky player for sure, very strong on the offensive end, and now that's going to be a mail slot, just a little bit off, will be received here by Ender, taking it back. talking about him and his offensive capability in that spaghetti game that that I was casting just before this match. Yeah, Ender was kind of his usual self. He was piling on some points, got assisted a lot by his teammates here. Now taking a disc back at Speedy, and they're just going to spread the floor. Speedy uncontested for the moment.
Yeah, kind of what we expect, some good passing here from Illuminaughty. But of course, as I say it, what a grab there from Fair Enough as he sends that one in. Beautiful interception there from him.
Yeah, and right back, Huzzah trying to contest that one. Will instead be received on the other end. Now Q, so goes for that deep clear, will bounce right back to him. Self-pass, finding Ender. Less of a self-pass, but now not getting past White Dragon as he cuts him off and dishes that back out here towards the goal.
Gotta be honest, there's a team putting up a bigger fight than I would have expected here, as they continue to disrupt the passing of Illuminaughty here and actually get this one down in the Illuminaughty zone. And they might be able to get there first. As Fair Enough comes in, that net is still open, and he does get it in for the 2. And now with about 6 minutes still to go here in round 1, there's the team is only trailing by 2.
Yeah, how about that? It's not I mean, obviously, I think this is going to will be the toughest matchup, the biggest test for There Is No Team thus far, having themselves a pretty successful season, considering they formed kind of spur of the moment almost, but it's like I said, that X factor, maybe Illuminaughty, they don't really know how this team plays exactly, but the talent level is undeniable on this team. That much is for sure, as going in for a sure goal is Speedy, and right back up 4 points here for Illuminaughty.
Yeah, great shot there from Speedy. Watch this replay as when Speedy's coming in on the goal, he cocks that shot back, holds it back in that position until he waits until that goalie moves. And the moment the goalie moves is the moment he releases that shot. Masterfully done there from Speedy.
And it's those little nuances that sometimes it's hard to notice or hard to appreciate if you're not really looking for it. But yeah, it's those little things really that make the big difference in the end when you talk about the difference between mid to high tier players, and then you talk about the elite, the master class. Right there, just a shot through a absolute pile of bodies, does get it through for Huzzah.
That was a 19-second response there from There's No Team against this the return of the reigning champions Illuminaughty here. Still within 2, over halfway through this round 1. I'm fairly impressed here with There's No Team.
Absolutely, I'm impressed, not necessarily surprised, but it's kind of as I was saying here. You have multiple, finalists between Fair Enough and Guygasm. Competitive finalists, you have White Dragon, the legendary White Dragon from Ready at Dawn, who was along with Dave, who's also on this team. Huzzah, by the way, can't go without mentioning him because he's, as I said before, one of the strongest players to never play comp until this season. So you have a lot of experience, and you have a lead for There Is No Team.
Yeah, There's a team pulling a lead here. Before we were, you said not particularly surprising. I'm surprised they got a lead now.
Yeah.
I did not expect There's No Team to pull a lead against Illuminaughty here, and they have. And it's got me excited. And now they're down by 1 with that goal there from Suburban as he kind of spins with it on the way in, but still well within the game here. I don't even have can't even find the words.
It's
However,
within grasp. Victory at the cusp.
Yeah,
something like that. But yeah, again, not to confuse, because again, it's not expected, but it's also not surprising, if that makes sense. Illuminaughty, the favorites here, the returning preseason champions, as you mentioned, so they are certainly favored. But just kind of knowing these players on a personal level and having played with all these players back in the day, I know their skill. That is without a doubt. It's just a matter of going against such a high chemistry team like Illuminaughty. Right there, though, no team play needed so much as QL is kind of free to walk it in very close to the goal on that shot.
Yeah, so many stuns going out there in the There Is No Team bubble to kind of plow the road there for that shot from QL to put it in for that easy 2. And now Illuminaughty extending that lead to 3 here.
So up by a little bit, not a lot. Still has a shot for There Is No Team that can get their offense going here. Being contested rather well by Speedy, but some clever jukes. A light handoff. Oh, and Ender, the beautiful shield. He just intercepted that disc, but was able to shield himself. Now that said, right back to Fair Enough. He gets stunned though by Suburban. So Burb's looking for maybe a clear attempt, maybe even a bounce shot. We'll see what goes as it goes very close to the goal. Rebounded by Ender. Has Speedy on the backboard. Goes to the backboard. Goes to the goal. It's a 14-9 lead, Illuminaughty.
Yeah, that initial shot attempt was very, very close, just off the mark. Ender does get the hand on it, sending it back to Speedy V. Ender could have made the attempt to walk that one in, but goes for the certain points there with that pass back to Speedy. Speedy puts that one in for easy too, and now Illuminaughty up by 5.
And coming in now is White Dragon, just ducking through that first defender. Can't really do it with the second defender, so has to get rid of it, and it will be a Speedy there receiving. But White Dragon takes it right back, gets it to Fair Enough. Some nice passes in what was a very tight situation, but now Speedy, the overtake as he clears it out, and he already has a stack trying to prepare themselves to recollect it here as QL Young finds it back, going for a one-on-one with Guy, and goes to the back forward.
Yeah, great shot there by QL Young, sending it off the cone on the backboard there. A lot of players have trouble hitting that cone when they're coming in like that on the goalie. You know, wanting to get that better angle on the shot. QL having no trouble with it. Hits right in the center, puts it in for that too, making it easy for himself.
Yeah,
Illuminaughty up by 7, but Speedy V with that stun there.
And Speedy V with a Speedy 3 off of that turnover. So just in the snap of fingers, what was a back and forth game, not really much separation. Now it's 10 points of separation with 30 seconds remaining. So it'll be one of those matches where you look at the score sheet and you got to say, well, that was a lot closer than maybe the end result, at least in the first round.
Yeah, particularly, it really was the first, 6 or 7 minutes of this round 1. It was fairly even on the scoreboard. It wasn't until this last couple of minutes here that Illuminaughty really ran away with it, kind of finding their stride, you could say, as maybe going for one more. Ender brings that one in and extends that to 21-9 here in round 1. Illuminaughty's going to take this.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean, I know you have White Dragon on one side, but maybe on Illuminaughty, they just woke up a sleeping dragon, because after what was a close game for the majority, talk about waking up and pulling ahead. Illuminaughty putting up 21 in just a very short amount of time. Not all 21 points at once, of course, but just based on the pacing earlier, you wouldn't figure that a few minutes later you were going to see something like that.
Well, you know what? Looking at the score, 21-9, as we do lose our stats, notable that there's a team, when they took their lead, they took it. It was that 2-pointer that took them up 9-8, and it was from that point on that Illuminaughty kind of took over. Once There's No Team took that lead, Illuminaughty said, "Oh no, we need to get something. We need to make something happen," because they just took the lead on us, and they did not let There's No Team score once again for the rest of the game, and that would have been so 9-8, 21. That's 13. That was 13 unanswered points there after There's No Team took that initial lead halfway through.
Very impressive, absolutely. I suppose one of those turning points for Illuminaughty, and they found the rhythm they were looking for coming off that win against Spaghetti. Feeling pretty good, no doubt, but yeah, I mean, if they're too lax against There Is No Team, I mean, even any team in the league really these days at these levels, you can't really let up, and if you do, teams will be glad to show you exactly why you shouldn't. So There Is No Team impressing there and contesting Illuminaughty pretty heavily for most of that. But then, the preseason champions doing what brought them success and starting to really find their rhythm, their chemistry, and they benefited off of a lot of goals in the last few minutes to pull away. Now, shout out as well to Zenith in the chat I'll reiterate in a slightly nicer way, but says, for you watching this back, QL, where is Ender's sub? So I'm not sure what that's a reference to, but there you go. I'll make extra sure that if he's watching back, he hears this.
What's funny is had you not said anything, QL could have seen the message, but because of the way those highlighted messages work in the VODs, he wouldn't have known who said it. So the fact that you read it out for Zenith, QL is now going to know exactly who it was. That made the
Exposed.
comment.
Exposed. But yeah, but then again, there's still plausible deniability.
Guys only get one technical.
Guy enforcing the rules apparently. I don't know. But anyway,
Oh, I just realized I had the players muted. I have no idea what's going on.
oh, yeah, they restarted again, so we've had another dropout. Looks like it's Q again, speaking of him. But I think for, in fact, I'm going to get distracted if I don't mute a little bit here, but what was I going to even say now? Oh, yeah, QL Young might still have plausible deniability. I mean, we're currently in the highlights screen, the mid-round screen, so QL could always just be like, oh, I just fast-forwarded through that. I already knew the scores. So, hey, who knows? See, I'm giving him an out. That's all. I got to be fair here. Called out Zenith, but I still got to defend Q, so it's back in balance now.
And QL is back, and just to touch on what the rule might be, we were in between rounds here, so we did have the one restart for the QL drop early on in that round 1, but being between rounds, they do still have access. They did still have access to that between rounds timeout. So the fact that he dropped while they were between rounds is actually rather fortunate, as they could take that second timeout to allow him to get back there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, worked out nicely for them, so no harm done really on that end. And I think, pretty sure Guy was just being, you know, he's being Guy. He's a cheeky guy, that guy. But nothing else. He's a very frequent pally troll. He'll say comments like whenever we meet up in real life, and it'll take me a second to realize, oh, he's just being Guy. He's being funny. But yeah, so doing the things that he does, bringing them some success in that first round, not enough to quite go over the hill here with Illuminaughty, who are going to be back here on offense with this pass over to the mid to QL Young. Hopefully he can stay in here for the remainder of the match.
Yeah, hopefully so. As Ender getting stunned out there, there's a team doing a really good job of contesting again. We're now a minute into this round 3, still no score here. But as I said, ooh, what a grab there by Guygasm to stop that 3 from going in.
Great shot, or great block, I should say, of save, whatever, all the stats. But Guy getting him, if I'm correct, too, because I tuned into the end of that match of Tint versus Nebula. Hold on here, QL going in, though. 4S shot just going to ting. And players having a laugh about that and language about that. Always gotta love it. But right there, loving the save again. It's huzzah!
That was the same shot, same save.
Different player.
Yeah, different player, but yeah, that was kind of seeing a repeat there. As Illuminaughty going to go in for another attack here.
Very impressive effort there. Now going for a pass, but teammate not looking for it. Going for the punch on the goalie instead. Still yet the barrage continues. Assault after assault. Can't quite find the goal and can't fault, you know, the effort here if there is no team.
Yeah, I mean, we're now 2 minutes in, and that was basically 2 minutes of sustained pressure from Illuminaughty in the offensive zone, and there's a team holding them off. So yeah, what a performance here by there's a team here in this round 2, kind of looking like that round 1 again.
Yeah, starting to open up the same way, trying to contest again. Can they do it? They will. There's the pressure, contesting just about every passing lane, getting the grab, White Dragon, but couldn't clear it before getting stunned. So we'll be right back to Suburban Legend. Over on the tree, cloud, what have you, Ender has the disc taken. And again, now there is no team. They just need a boost, and they'll be golden after all this defense, but still can't get the disc back.
Yeah, this is pretty unreal. Sustained attack from Illuminaughty, and there's a team still struggling to get it out of their zone. They do go for another dump, and they do have a player in deep. We'll see if he can make something happen. Ooh, and dinging off the post there.
Yeah, Huzzah was back there. He was pretty close to getting that one, but unfortunately could not. Oh, this is going to be tough if that goes in. Ender gets it with some splendor, and that's 3 points after 3 minutes, minus a second, of play. Wow.
Yeah, that was extended. That was a long drought there of goal scoring from both teams, but in particular Illuminaughty, particularly given that they kind of had the control of the disc for the vast majority of it. around the theirs and team bubble. So that kind of a testament to the bubble defense capabilities of theirs and team here.
I'm very impressed with the passing right now from the Arizona team. The concentration for some of these, because look at Illuminaughty. Their stack is bothering hardcore and trying to go for some more. So that one will finally be knocked loose. But there was 5 or 6 passes just string back and forth with a pretty good precision. But QL Young diving out of the goal does go for a clear off the corner. And now retained here, maybe by Tint. Hazard does get that one, but will be throwing an intercept instead. So Suburban Legend takes this disc over, has a chance, but just loses it. White Dragon glad, almost gift-wrapped disc, but just the same. A punch, a grab, a shot, and Speedy V looking hot on the shot. That's 6 points.
Yeah, it's the sort of punishment you can expect from Illuminaughty when you turn it over like that. And the player that forced the turnover gets that open lane. They can make their shots fairly reliably. Speedy does there, and it's good for the 3. And now Illuminaughty up by 6.
Yeah, and you saw White Dragon there. He did very well with getting that first grab, and then he was kind of checking behind him to see where the defense was, where the stack, his friendly stack was incoming. And then when he turned his head around, suddenly it was Speedy there in his face and couldn't get rid of it in time. Right there, Speedy again, another steal. Mail slot off the mark. Recollected though by Suburban Legend, has the immediate nest pass, already knew. No problem to Ender as for There Is No Team, they surrender another goal, and it's 8 points, Illuminaughty.
Yeah, that shot from Ender. He had the defender on him and a goalie in goal, and he full arm extension there, wraps it all the way around for the strong hook shot, kind of in front of the body, sending it in for the 2. Good shot there from Ender.
And White Dragon now coming out, trying to get right about to the other side. You can see a guy, Gasm, in the back line, really breaking up the stack, doing a good job of it, him and White Dragon. However, Q is still able to get it back on the other side. And we'll be going into the bubble area where it's going to be highly contested. White Dragon in the goal, but Speedy getting stunned. Suburban Legend gets it back, but not for long, and there's a slap into the top wedge as the Illuminaughty will continue the barrage. And this has been a common theme so far, didn't we?
Yes, it has been, as they're going to come in for this one. And
What
another
a
save off
save!
that backboard
Wow!
shot.
Even the players celebrating over that on both sides. That was incredible. Almost a Matrix-like grab right out of the just last inch between the goal and the backboard. Somehow pinched it off. Amazing.
Amazing is a good word for it. That was a great save.
So one more goal, and against you got to feel for There Is No Team in the sense that their defense is just incredible. They are putting a stop over and over to these assaults from Illuminaughty. But it's just there. At the end of the day, they cannot get the clears or the disc first. And finally, it will be a shot from Ender barely. But even then, Hazai turned it blue, so he almost had to save. I mean, is that a testament to There Is No Team's defense or what?
Quite so. And what's really interesting, that was an 8-meter 2. Coming in at 0 meters a second, so I have to think that the goalie actually got the grab on that.
Oh, he did. It turned blue. It was credited.
Oh, okay.
It was credited still to Ender, but yeah, that disc turned blue just as it went in. So I mean, yeah, sometimes the game will credit it different ways. I'm not entirely sure on the timing of things, but definitely was a almost save from Hazard as QL Young gives a yeet to the disc. And Speedy will meet it for the goal.
Yeah, nice little, just a very casual toss there from Speedy to pop that one in for the 2, extending Illuminaughty's lead to 12 here in round 2 with about 2.5 to go.
2.5 to go, 12-0. I think, even though Illuminaughty does have their control here, I still feel like it's one of those games. It's another shot is just missed from Ender that time, but that one will not. Guy is upset. The players very happy though.
He's upset because he tried to keep his hand behind the line to put that one in for the 3. And it does register at 8 meters, but it's another 8-meter 3 here. This time cannot be attributing this one to a lag, save, not save.
Yeah, so either or it will be a goal here for Illuminaughty. As I was saying moments ago, though, I feel score is still misleading. I mean, defense so good. I mean, that shot will be good for Ender, and he'll just continue to roll on. So despite the fact that we are approaching a mercy, it was not. It was. For those who didn't watch this game, it's just it's a different story. So I kind of I feel like there's a lot of great highlight plays for There Is No Team that kind of deserve visibility at some point, because they really played a lot better than maybe some people would have expected here.
Absolutely, they did. I mean, yeah, particularly their bubble defense was really on it tonight. And with a minute left, we are out of that mathematical time. This will be a round 2 victory to Illuminaughty, but maybe get some points here.
Nice.
There's a team that feeds from Hazada Guygasm and breaks into the bubble. So maybe staving off that mercy here with just under a minute to go, but going to be about 40 seconds once they come out of the bubbles. Tubes, excuse me.
So
once they come out of the tubes.
Yeah, maybe a little of both, but coming up the catapult launch here, Illuminaughty going to go for another, and There's No Team just trying to save it off. I do like that last play though, just by the by. It was very smooth from Tint, but right here, Speedy trying to find the rebound, doesn't. Ender tries to invert, but couldn't convert. As that one goes to Hazard. Needs to get rid of that one fast. He does, and reining it in for a last shot, possibly for his team. Indeed, as his clock winds down, still a beautiful one to at least conclude this round 2 in this series.
Yeah, nice shot there from Hazard. 40 meters out, goes in at 16 meters a second. Good for 3. But yeah, that will be the end of that round 2, and that will be a 2-0 victory here to Illuminaughty. Taking this one 17-5.
Yeah. Again, gotta applaud that. I mean, Illuminaughty, they came in tonight. They handled business. Preseason champions. You know, up and down starts this season, but without a doubt, they're starting to come back as of late with some good wins here and finishing out this week in particular. Obviously, 2-0. But There's No Team. I hesitate to say up-and-comers, just again, because of the ridiculous amount of veteranship on this team in terms of just time played and how long they've been in the community. So I hesitate to say up-and-comers, but, you know, in the context of being a team, you know, they are definitely impressing here, and it's going to be fun to watch them continue to develop, especially with that kind of wild 5- or 6-man roster. So it's still, you never know what you're going to get, but you do know you're going to get some nice plays from them.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, their defense was absolutely on point tonight. We saw some really good looks from them with their passing. A lot of really good accurate passes. They would get 2, 3, 4, and then it would break up a little bit. But that's one of those things that kind of, the more you play together, the more time you spend on it, the better you get with that. So yeah, as you say, I'm really curious, really excited to see what There's a Team can do moving forward. Particularly after seeing them here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they'll go 1-on-1, 1-and-1 on the night with the victory against Nebula in 3 rounds, and then, you know, this loss against the Illuminaughty. But yeah, you still got to be happy with that, and they still remain in the positives for the record-wise. So yeah, still a lot of good takeaways for them, and you know, on this day as a whole, a lot of good takeaways there just as well. A lot of big highlight plays, some big matches. Of course, got to shout out one last time that Kangos versus Flare game, because that was quite the doozy. But beyond that, just good to have all these matches, and kind of happy to see them all separated out, you know, throughout the weekend. We had a nice distribution for the casters' end of things, and just yeah, made for some pleasant casts. But thank you for, you know, joining. To the Twitch crowd, and as well as SirDimwi, casting all day, and once again giving up his voice a little bit to you know, just to make sure everything gets streamed. So definitely appreciate that.
For sure.
And yeah, so that will conclude our week 7, ladies and gents, with week 8 underway as of tomorrow. So be aware of the schedules coming out roughly around noon Central, I believe. Plus or minus maybe half an hour, but it'll come out around then, and we'll roll on with this season, hoping for some good ones next week. But until then, I've been Palidore. That's
Real
been
quick shout out.
Yes,
I
I'm
just gotta
sorry.
Say,
Gotta
we
go
have
to it.
The weekly echo will be starting up shortly over at twitch.com/SirDimwi in a different format tonight. So yeah, so come join us.
Do you want to expand on said format?
Yeah, no, voice comms will be open for anybody to join, comment, and participate and all that.
Oh yeah. So I'll probably be. I mean, I'm gonna need to get some drinks and maybe a snack, but I'll probably hop in
Take your
there
time.
as well. So yeah, you heard it here, folks. So you want to hop in if you're a part of that the Echo Discord server for SirDimwi there. It'll be just an open chat. So if you want to discuss all the games, if you want to just discuss your games, it doesn't matter. We're going through all of them that happened over this past 7 days. So it'll be fun. Join us soon for that. But now, with that plug out of the way, I guess I'll plug Little Paper Stick on SoundCloud. And until next time, I've been Palidore. That's been SirDimwi. For real this time, that was VR Master League. You've been a great audience all day long. And we'll see you again really soon. Take care, be safe, wash your hands, social distance, all that jazz. And yeah, have a great night.